Welcome to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. A look at modern and retro games with a dark sense of humor. Introducing your hosts, Steve.
Well, I'm a wreck now.
Harry.
Put it in my mouth.
Clark.
That man had one testicle and hit home runs, goddammit.
And Joe.
This went off the rails very quickly.
Let's start the show.
Welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go! Here we go, after that great introduction. First, across the table for me, Clark. Yippee! And to my left, Harry.
Groovy. Groovy.
To my right, Joe.
Whoa, Nelly!
And I will be your host, Steve.
Earthworm Jim.
All right, well, I literally just told you it's Earthworm Jim. And, I know there's one or two people who are very, very happy who have played this game for this episode.
Not in this room.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. On that note, initial impressions. Let's go.
An ad?
You gonna do an ad read?
Should we? Yeah, I guess we should.
He's your brother-in-law, so you know.
That is fair. This week's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks. Deep Creek Glassworks has been making hand-blown, durable glass artwork since 2013. What can we say about them? They make functional, beautiful, decorative works of art, all in glass form. We all have either gotten beer glasses or ornaments to kind of support the business and whatnot. And Tanner has his new workshop up and running now, so definitely need to check him out on all forms of social media, Instagram, Etsy. Go to deepcreekglassworks.com. Works spelled WORX. I mean, they have their own website. And just for our listeners, if you mention the code SUPERFUN, you will get 10% off of your entire order, your first order, to be fair. And everything is sent in crush-resistant boxes. Shipping is 100% free.
Free. Groovy.
Groove free.
That was a stretch, but yeah, you know what? It works. Why not? So
Smooth glass. Groove free.
smooth groove and chip free.
It's for those butt ornaments.
Okay. All right. Again, pretty sure that is not the line of work. But you know what?
I fucking forgot about that.
You never know. You never know. But other than butt stuff, go check out Deep Creek Glassworks, WORX.com, Etsy, Instagram, Facebook. Just look at all of it, and there's something for a little bit of everybody. You know, we're good. Fuck you. Harry, initial impressions.
I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this game. Did this come up during our Super Nintendo episode?
It did.
Yes.
It did. Okay.
Although
I kind of remember this game popping up in like old magazines that I may have had way back in the day. I don't know. I just kind of remember seeing pictures of this game.
Different than the previous OnlyFans and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. That's about it. I've seen some pictures of it. So I was aware that it existed. I'm sorry. That's all I got.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. Clarkman.
I had this game on Super Nintendo. I remember it being a lot more fun than playing through it now. And oh boy, I didn't get very far in that game. And I started
As a kid or now?
as a kid.
Oh, yeah, right.
Makes sense.
Because because I didn't have like ROMs and a Game Genie, but like it Man.
Was that a slight?
No. We all did the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we all played with
Okay,
cheats.
got it.
Oh, not all of us.
You didn't beat the game without cheats, bud.
No, without cheats?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Save states.
Save states.
That's cheats. That's Those are
No,
cheats.
no.
That's cheating.
No, they're called save
Hey,
states, not cheats.
Anyways,
Completely different.
I'll give him a half
I couldn't
a point.
find those.
Anyway, yeah, I already said my thing.
All right, Joe.
I've tried to play this game a few times, and pretty much every time I played it, we got to the first level where you jump on the first chain and the dog kills you, and I'm like, I'm out.
That's it.
And I'm done.
So less than
like 20 seconds
10
in.
minutes, and yeah.
Because it's literally like you start on the first stage, you walk 20 feet, and then that's that part with the dog. And it was just, yeah.
All right.
So as soon as you pitched it, I was immediately just like, fuck you.
Oh
Yeah, I saw that come up in the text quite a bit.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Steve.
quite a bit.
Go
Just-
fuck yourself, Steve.
Maybe a couple times. Joe mentioned to me that he had a little bit of a dislike for this game and what I did to you guys. But every once in a while, got to throw a curveball, and this was the curveball. You know, I had this for the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite platformers, and at some point, there was something that was kind of like close to the likeness of Earthworm Jim that just kind of sparked in my mind. Oh, I should bring this up for the podcast. Someone else may have fun with it, and the rest will be pissed off. And there we go. I at least found the one, as Joe telling me for the past 3 weeks or so, fuck you, Steve, just randomly out of nowhere. I'm like, I did my job. It's okay. It's all right. Don't worry, Joe. This is the last one for quite a bit. These only come up every once in a while. You weren't
3
around
months.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was your last game?
Mirror's Edge.
Oh, right. And then
Yeah. No,
before
that
that was Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, but that wasn't
Every once in a while,
no,
literally.
Hey, okay. That's not Super
just teasing.
Nintendo platformer to make you hate yourself. You weren't around.
I was just thinking
on
games that
this-
make you hate yourself.
Okay. Again, you were not around for The Lion King. Be grateful. At least this had some extra playability to it.
This
compared
was
to
better
that.
than Lion King.
Okay, we already got Harry's review ready to go.
Yeah, that's the entire review right
He already
there.
said he was going to give it a 0.5.
Oh, no.
I know, that was Steve.
I was giving
making
Steve a
joke.
0.5.
Oh, okay. No, that's
10.
fair. Just like entirely. Yeah, no, that's fair. So from that, let's you know what? Let's just get right in and whip our way into some game development.
Game development.
Right. Well, Earthworm Jim was released in 1994. Playmates Toys, who just recently acquired, at the time, the license to Ninja Turtles, they wanted their own game and their own toys. So they were searching around quite a bit, and they came across Doug Tenapel, close enough, who actually came up with the idea of Earthworm Jim, and pretty much the producer of Shiny Entertainment. Now, Shiny had done another game, 7-Up Spot. 7-Up
Spot?
Cool Spot.
Cool Spot.
To be fair.
Are you having a stroke over there?
I'm reading ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
The
reading ahead.
7-Up Spot game.
Spot. 7-Up Spot.
Skins, guys, skibbity
Scoobity spot.
Skibbity 7-Up Spot. He just clutches his chest and falls over. Skibbity
Highest downloaded episode. Steve dies.
Steve dies at the end.
Yeah, Steve dies at the end.
But yeah, Shiny was very constricted compared to the other game that they made. 7-Up, Cool Spot. But they were trying to do something of their own too. So they kind of had a bit of a collaboration, and Earthworm Jim. Yeah? You doing okay?
Clark's fucking dying.
No.
Clark dies at the end.
I took a sip of beer and then I started laughing. I need a second.
Whatever floats your boat, man. We're good. Yeah. But they did want to play on the trope of here's a hero that needs to rescue a princess or something else. So they named her Princess What's Her Name. That's literally her name in the game.
I mean, you wouldn't know that at any point in the game.
No, you wanted it all. And here comes this earthworm who's in like a robotic suit who whips his own head to grapple things and has a rocket gun and jumps along a platformer. That's pretty much it.
Well, you tell us about the ending.
This is development.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry. Harry just wants this episode done. Yeah, Harry just wants to be done.
Are we done yet?
I just
Final thoughts.
Sorry, you were talking about the princess, and I was like, oh, story, yeah.
No, that was
you're right.
That's pretty much it.
My bad.
It's all right. Don't worry. I have a very long and in-depth story for story. So with that, let's blast some cats, and we're going to get into story.
Oh, man.
Story.
All right. So as our story begins, you are an earthworm named Jim. You are in a robotic body, and you go through some crazy fucking places to try to save Princess What's-Her-Face.
What's her name?
What's her name? And at the very
Good
end,
catch, Joe.
Details are important.
you find Princess What's-Her-Name, and she gets smashed by a cow. And at the very end of that, if you wait, you steal her crown. Let's get into gameplay.
So
Oh my god.
I mean that.
to be fair, there is nothing.
There's no story.
Yeah, there is no
okay,
story.
let's play this.
It's implied story.
Is
That's
there
about
a
it.
way, just for the sake of extending this segment
Sure,
a little
try.
bit, is there a way to avoid launching the cow in the first level?
I assume
No.
that's what kills her.
Yes. Remember launching the
Yeah,
cow
it
in the
says
first
cow
level?
launched,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
And it
cow
Says
that...
launch the cow. No, you need to launch the cow.
Yeah, to move on. So Jim kills her pretty much.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't jump past the cow.
He just kills her like 3 hours before it happens. Like I really wanted to make more of the story, but there isn't.
There's nothing that ties any levels together.
Now, you know what?
No, they're really
Except for the
stand-
weird fucking space tunnel thing. Which,
Andy's asteroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going about.
And is that Andy the Crow, right?
No,
No, that's Psychro.
Psychro.
Yeah, with
There's some kind of rivalry going on with him. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a real long backstory to that.
Psychro
Yeah.
killed Jim's parents.
yeah. He
That
was
makes
hey,
sense.
you know what? The early bird gets the worm.
There's a
So
lot.
maybe
A lot of birds.
a lot of birds, a lot of cats, a lot of dogs.
one Psychro.
One worm.
What's up with that pink dog?
Oh, you
What's
mean
going on
Pete
there?
Puppy?
Pete?
Yeah, we're
Is
not.
that Pete?
Yeah,
There was
we're-
one human in the game, though. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Because we're talking about a lot of other shit here.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
yeah.
story.
This is where we are going way out of the realm of
Harry's
story.
like, let's extend it and let's just not talk about the story.
I mean, I'm talking about characters that I found in the story.
Yeah,
Is there
which
anything
we will
there?
get into in gameplay because they have nothing to do with the story.
All right.
Because this is where we're at. So, grab some cream for your asteroids and let's spread our way into some gameplay.
Oh boy.
Spread known in.
Fucking birds.
Gameplay.
So,
So I played most of this game twice, unfortunately. Yeah.
You fucked up your save state.
Yeah, I accidentally, when I booted the game up at one point, instead of clicking load save state, I accidentally clicked save on like the opening menu, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you fucked up.
And I was like on
Groovy.
I was on like the 4th or 5th level. Like I was just like, fuck.
well,
There is a level called
there is
the
a level
fifth
called
level, right?
level
yeah,
5.
it wasn't level 5.
It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Okay.
No. Fuck that place.
It's
though.
definitely not level 5 either.
No. Yeah, but it was a pretty terrible time.
So did you use like the cheats or just save states?
No, I when the first time I played through, I used save states
Okay.
and unlimited lives, just so I didn't get game over.
Oh, so that was still
Yeah.
cheats and
Yeah.
save states.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, save states are cheap.
Judge away,
And then,
Steve.
well, I mean,
and then once I
will.
fucking got all the way that far, and then I died, I was just like, fuck. But I didn't want to just like level skip back to that point, so I just like was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn on like no damage and just run through this,
Oh.
so that way I could experience like the levels again
okay.
to get my opinion on like the levels, not just the gameplay, but like the music and everything else,
Okay.
without like torturing myself, basically.
Worrying about the rest of it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because the only thing I used was save states. No cheats or anything else, which save
states are cheats. Yeah.
To an extent, yes.
Well,
I mean,
it's
theoretically,
like
save states are
unlimited-
unlimited
but
lives.
Yeah, it's just unlimited lives.
yeah,
That's all
you
save
just
states
have
are,
to
really.
you just have to start over and actually beat it to be able to make it through instead of having like no damage, infinite lives and whatnot. Because I still never hit continue, which again, save states. But like I got down to 0 lives and like 30% health, and I still just played. I just went until I found enough of like the little molecules to build my health back up, or if you found like the little magical red orb
It was
that
like 50 or whatever.
yeah, exactly. I just kept building it up from there, and maybe throughout I found like 1 or 2 like earthworm heads to give you another life.
Yeah.
I went through it that way, but it was no like, so that's how I played through, which once I got to the bubble level, like where you're piloting like the
Underwater,
little ship, yeah, underneath. And then that was just like the time constraint. I would just find myself getting to like, all right, well, I'm like 60 seconds in. Let's save right here. I haven't had any damage. And I've already gone through like 7 to 10 other times to know.
Well, see, that
I'm
could fuck
making
you
good
too.
time.
So even if you don't take damage,
Yeah.
So I would.
You need to make good time.
You need to make
That's-
good time and no damage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the issue. So I was using save states there as well. Every like 3 or 4 seconds. Oh shit! I made this rock safe.
Yeah.
Oh, I made this
I'm
tight
up here.
turn safe. That's the
Hotkeys,
only way I could do it.
hotkeys.
But then I was wondering because I was getting down to like loading with 8 seconds left, and I was like, did I just save myself into a fucking corner? like,
Oh.
'cause
Oh,
I had-
yeah. I used multiple save slots for that.
yeah, I did.
Like,
not.
I had one where I, like, saved it at the beginning, and then, like, I bounced between, like, 2 others to
Yeah.
try and get through there, so I knew I had, like, a backup.
I at least had 2 save states throughout the entire thing. I had number 1, like, shit's coming up, let's quick save. And then as I'm going through, it's like, is this far enough? Save the other save state. And then I fucked it up. It's like, all right, start over on the first one and then start getting through again. And I remember being a kid and beating this game at some point. I'm sure it was to much frustration of myself and just the random screaming that came out of the room to my parents. But at the same time, it's I don't know. Not this day and age do I have the time
Patience?
and patience, yeah, to make it through.
That was my biggest thing. Like, I got to the submarine level. I was using cheats and save states, and not so much save states. I would just, like, when I was done a level, I'd be like, all right, save once.
Yeah.
But I got to the submarine level, and I just lost my patience with it, and then I overwrote my save, and I was like, I'm done. I was like, I saw everything I need to see of this game. I'm done.
Oh.
I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna like crunch through this and just like frustrate myself. It wasn't worth it to me at all. I'm not a kid anymore. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'd rather do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had a lot of problems with this game. Like, there was a lot of things that I didn't, like, honestly, didn't know you could shoot while hanging off a chain until after I beat it.
Oh.
Yep.
So that was your Joeism for this game?
It was fucking ridiculous. Yeah, basically. Like,
You have one thing that you don't know about the game.
Dude, it was-
until
These are my
75%
pirate
before.
controls. I didn't know I could shoot.
there was like certain, like there was like the one lava level I couldn't even figure out. I spent like 2 hours on it, and at one point, like I used the cheat. There's a cheat where you can just like take the camera and like move it around the whole map, so you can try and figure out where you go.
Okay.
And I still couldn't figure it out because I was like, okay, I see all this extra platforming and stuff up at the top of the map. I couldn't figure out how to get to it, and I was just like, I don't
trying to-
like. I spent hours on it, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm not gonna just stop playing.
And,
Like,
and
I don't want to just kill my frustration here. So I just level skipped, and I was like, I'm not going to fucking sit here for another 2 hours not knowing how to jump up there.
I probably should have like level skipped past the submarine level, but like I was just like, I just don't want.
I mean, it's
It wasn't with the gem, was it?
Yeah, the one with the level with the green gems.
Yeah, you have to jump
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
gem and then
and
run.
you have to
And
run
then it,
on
like,
the gem.
Teleports you up. It's so stupid.
Oh, yeah, no, it took me a while. I had
It's
to-
so dumb.
I had to look it up. I had to look it up. I
Yeah.
had no idea as well, and I was stuck in that one
That
little
has-
cycle.
That has one of the cooler boss fights, in my opinion. The cat.
yeah. Evil the cat,
Yeah.
because of course the cat has a name. I just see Joe so mad.
This game was not like friendly. Not, like,
no.
not one part of it. So many times where I would like try to like run and jump, but like timed it wrong, and like he just wouldn't jump sideways. He would just jump straight up and shit like that. Or I wouldn't jump at all, and I would just fall off an edge. I'm just like, how the fuck? Like, if I was 8 playing this, there's no fucking way I would play this. It was so frustrating. I was like,
The I kind of want to talk about this because this is actually important in this game. I appreciate this mechanic in early Super Nintendo games because it has progressed to becoming very polished mechanic in a lot of newer games. But the swinging pendulum, like when you grab onto like a pole and you do the
oh yeah, and you jump off, and
No, I
sometimes
mean-
you had to grab and swing
So
back.
what you're
Yes.
saying, like with your head, like swinging on the
Well,
ball.
I mean,
was
you can
probably
see
the
how it's
easiest
like.
part.
You can see how it's like. No, no, no. You can see how it's really polished out in games like fucking what's,
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Thank
you go.
Yeah.
because they use that same mechanic. Yeah, obviously, it looks different and it's 3D instead of 2D, but you can see it got its start on like Super Nintendo. I don't even know if they had something like that on regular Nintendo.
Pitfall.
Pitfall.
Pitfall was one of the originals that like the.
Well, I'm not saying this is the original, but
No, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Bionic
but
Commando
like
as
that's
well.
like the whole idea of like the jump and swing, like that was like Pitfall, Bionic Commando, Earthworm Jim was a huge proponent. That was another
yeah.
mechanic that I was going to actually bring up myself. Was like that is the one thing I feel like it has its roots in platforming.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why this game is even relevant personally, but like. That and the music, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
sorry, the issue I was going to say with the old ones, like on today's, as long as you hit within a certain bubble,
Yeah.
it completes the animation.
you had to be right fucking
the
on.
precision. Yes, absolutely.
You had to be pretty damn close.
Yeah.
I don't need to say you need to be like 100%.
It wasn't
on,
very
but
forgiving.
it's-
No, yeah. If
but
you're
no.
pixels off,
A
you're
lot of
fucked.
times you would see like because you're throwing yourself, like really, and you would see past. You'd go right past the little hook because you were too close to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you like? I literally went through the fucking hook that I need to grab onto because I'm too close.
Yeah, there was like no collision. Like you had
No.
to be pixel perfect, and that's I think probably the biggest like drawback of this game is that it's not. There's no forgiveness in this game whatsoever. Even like the hardest Super Nintendo game ever, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Like even that is a little more forgiving than this because Jesus, like this is just brutal to play.
It can be. Definitely can be.
I don't know if Super Ghouls and Ghosts is more forgiving, but it's more interesting to look at, so I have more tolerance for it.
Yeah.
I
Well, there's
think it's
a lot
little
more
more
stuff.
forgiving. Like I've played a decent amount of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Like there were definitely times where I was like standing on a platform that I had no business actually standing on. I could see the pixel in between my foot and the platform. But like in Earthworm Jim, for something like it requires so much precision in a speedy platformer, because that's another thing. This game runs really quickly.
Yeah, it makes you like you're on your toes like for the majority of the time. Like if you're there, I remember like the one hook sequence where there's like one on each side, and you have to go like back and forth.
That's what I was referring to.
Back and forth. So if you miss one, you're fucking hitting some spiky balls.
Yeah, like even like in Super Ghouls, like once you get hit, you can kind of like do that rebound jump. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the double jump and you can direction it.
There's nothing like that in this to just like if you fall, like you might be dead.
Yeah, but they give you a larger health pool in this game, though.
I mean,
to kind of compensate.
So like every time you're hit, I think it's what like 5% of your health.
There are some pitfalls where you cannot get out of, though, like spiked.
And there's some enemies that are just like insta kill.
Yep. Yeah.
Like those fucking like centipede.
Yeah, they just like rip
wormy things.
Like,
Like,
rip
just like
little
that's
pincers on their mouth, and they just cut you in half.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was another one like that, but I forget what enemy it was. But it was like insta kill. It's like,
That would be irritating.
Yeah.
I just
At the end of the game.
and that's the thing. Like I think that's where this game falls apart. Is the balance of having like the art of having a truly tough game is also that it is balanced in a way that if you can learn it, there's something else there.
Yeah, but I think that also came through with like when you had to fight Major Mucus, like when you're doing the bungee jumping, basically.
Yeah.
And so like level 1, he's just up there and you can smash him into the wall. Level 2, a little bit harder. Level 3 was where it just got super
ridiculous.
difficult.
With the fucking thing in the bottom that would just eat you.
Yeah, well, that was that thing was there on level 2, and
Right,
then,
he wasn't as aggressive though.
right, level 3 was when it was like right on your ass.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like
I don't even know like what you had to do to knock him off. Like I was riding him against the wall, and hopefully he would get caught. on something.
That's all you needed to do. It's just by like the
The
third
dumb part
round.
was like his health bar never changed until he was dead.
Yeah, well, level 2 and level 3, it got harder. Like, you had to smash them into the wall even more. And then by, like, the third level was when you both went down. And it varied whether you were, like, the same, you're above him, he's above you. But if you were above him, once you started coming up, like, if you were up here, his little slime line would start to, like, align. So as soon as it got up, that's when you kind of had to move over because he started following your track. So that way he could do his little like spinny shit and try to like throw you into the cliff.
Wall,
yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how long that took me to get through and, fucking kill him. It was
Save
just
states every time. Like every 5 times I bounced up and down. Save
every
again.
time it's like,
I'll get at one of these bounces.
I did something good. Save. Throw him in.
Yeah, so in like a comparison to like Dark Souls, where you like every death you actually learn something. Like you died for a reason in Dark Souls. Like it was either you made a mistake of like okay, like I underestimated or overestimated my position or something like that. This game does not do that.
It's like 25 years apart, though.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
but like Super Ghouls and Ghosts is the same way though. Like, that's what makes that a great game and kind of what makes this one not, in my opinion, is like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you can learn something every time. You like, and I just don't feel like... there's so much wrong between the controls, the speed of the game, and just how pixel perfect you have to be with everything in this game that, like... I feel like somewhere in that balance, it becomes more towards unplayable than it is just a hard challenge.
I would almost disagree to an extent. I mean, with the pixel perfect type stuff, yeah, sometimes it's just like, it seems like you're just enough out of like the scope of what you're going to get hit from. You get hit anyway. And then it's like, all right, well, that fucking sucks. But at the same time, it is kind of like where if you learn the pattern a little bit, then you might fare a little bit better chance than, when you died the past 4 or 5 times before and whatnot. So I do see a little bit of like a
I mean, that's
difference in
just that's just for bosses, though. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, literally just going through 2 different levels, right? Like, just levels, not bosses.
It's kind of, well, like the Andes asteroids, they come up in the same pattern every time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was also a very easy level. I wouldn't even like...
Yeah,
Okay, well, we're just saying between bosses and levels, that's, I'm
well,
just trying to make
like real levels
Not a
in
minigame.
Earthworm Jim. Yeah. Like, you have to be pixel perfect in so many different instances that it's not learning. It's you just have to be perfect or it doesn't work. Whereas, like, other games, it's not like that. Like, you can still make a mistake and it won't be like an instant kill, or it won't be, or if it's an instant kill, not to do that this time.
Yeah.
And it's like a learning experience, whereas this is like, oh, I fucked up. Oops, I fucked up. Oops, I fucked up. I actually can't do this. I can't get this timing. And then when you fuck up again, you have to remember to do that perfect timing again, and then get to the next thing where you have to have perfect timing or you die.
Yeah.
And then you go back. I'm talking about like a non-save state era. Like I couldn't.
Well, yeah, non-save state is completely different than
Right, but that's this game. Like, we have to also remember that, like,
that's fair.
This game in a non-save state form is like unrelentingly tough, and it requires perfection. It's not a difficult experience. It requires perfection.
Yeah.
There was the level where you have to whip the dog.
For Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called, for Pete's sake?
Puppy Pete.
There is
That's his name. That
so kind of going
asshole.
back to build on your point a little bit. Because you only get like 3 lives to get through the game, or something like that.
You can earn
pick up more or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of. They're real.
They're not
awful
easy to
point.
get in most cases.
They are not. So on that level, there are some jumps where you need to whip him perfectly, fire the gun to kill an enemy so that he lands kind of safely. But then it's also, you have to worry about these
the tilting.
seesaws.
yeah.
So if you land on the wrong way, it
shoots him backwards.
them backwards, and then so it took me a lot of tries to get through these segments.
Yeah.
I can only imagine getting to these levels only having 1 or 2 lives.
Well, luckily that one, if you fucked up with the dog, like it just like took you backwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
But those,
If you had enough
okay, I guess
life,
that kind
Like
of
that one
balances it.
that was probably my favorite level.
I imagine that does damage though, right?
Well, it does. Like, once he drops down and comes up as like the raging
Right.
dog, and
Yeah.
It doesn't
comes-
just you don't just die though.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just like ravages you for like 15, 20
Yeah.
hit points and takes you back to an earlier spot.
Okay. I guess that balances it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
It's not the worst, but it ain't great either, because at the same time, like once you've done that scenario where you go through that step and you fuck it up, you've already picked up all the health globes and stuff.
Yeah.
that's true.
You don't get
you're-
to do that again.
They're not respawning. You know what I mean? Like you only get to pick up those once. So it is, still difficult. But yeah, I think that's my favorite level, because actually, like, there was an obvious way to beat it. It was still difficult, but it was obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like some fucking random hook, like all the way up on the top fucking corner that you had to try and get to actually get to the next section of the level or whatever, or some dumb non-obvious mechanic like the fucking jewel. This was obvious.
I mean, it did feel like they give you more than what you actually need, like in this game. Like
They give you more?
like the full blaster, I found that more of a hindrance than...
Oh yeah, you couldn't save that, could you? Or like switch to the rapid. I was trying to like.
I always,
As soon as
like,
she got
I always
one.
had it and like unintentionally fired it. I was like, I don't need that.
Yeah. No, it's like I just want like the machine ray gun. I just don't want one big blast.
Yeah,
It's
because there's like a cooldown before you swap back to the regular gun too.
right.
And I was like, no. Like,
It's like, all right, no, I don't
need the
want
machine
this.
gun.
They should, like, there was unused buttons on the controller. They should have. had that on one of the unused buttons.
They could have, so that
and then you
way
can use it for the bosses instead of firing it on
Right.
the very next enemy you come across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great, I'm going to use this on a fucking beehive. Great. I wouldn't, want to use this on, like, the giant fucking beehive, drone that's, like...
Oh, the cunt at the end?
Yeah.
Let me talk about that real quick. So I tried to put in the infinite ammo code and I couldn't get it to work.
Okay.
I'm sorry for your loss.
So if you get under 100 bullets, it does automatically recharge. Thank God.
Oh.
Up to 100.
Up to 100.
Okay.
But that final boss, you literally have to hurt it. I think I counted it was like 58 plus times.
It was a lot.
So I counted because I wanted to know, can I just hold down the fire button and get X amount of hits before I run out? Or is it better to do burst fire? But then you run into the issue of it releasing its thing and it can bump you off and then you fall and you're dead.
It released its... What,
It
like
had some kind of
little
like
drone,
it had
drone
some kind of
beams?
instant kill weapon. Where if you let
If you jumped into it, it did.
yes.
But otherwise, like that little green platform just keeps going around, and
No,
all
I
I did
know.
was like as soon as you hit, it's like. Prr, prr, prr.
Every time you shoot it though, it interrupts its. I don't.
Yeah.
I died a couple times there, and I had
Yeah.
infinite health on.
Oh.
So
It's
I'll
like
be honest,
when
I actually didn't beat it either. I got most of the way through Buttville and just fucking gave up because I was just like, nah.
I mean, by the time I hit that, I was trying to like jump across because I didn't realize it was the end of the game. And then anytime you go like you cross her, she just kills you in half. I'm like, all right, let's not do that. Apparently, we have to kill this thing. And then as it's like circling around, and I'm just like doing like little burst fire, like as I'm like in a direction of, I can fire at it. And 3 minutes later, it dies. And then I'm like, oh, that was the end of the game. Okay. And that was it. There was like no build up because it just seemed like another part of the level that you just needed to get through. And that just ended up being the end of the game. There was no pomp and circumstance or no build up to anything. That was just it.
Did you guys get stuck in any spots where like you just couldn't like get past it? Like I had an instance in the first level, on my second playthrough, where I ended up having to fight the trash can guy. Did you guys have to fight him at all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got backed up onto the side of the map, and I couldn't kill him.
Huh.
So he opens when he opens his lid is when you're supposed to do damage. He wasn't taking any damage.
So I chalk some stuff up to like game Genie glitches, essentially. Because like Game Genie's whole thing was like, oh, if you ever use cheats through the Game Genie engine, like sometimes
it's
it fucks
injecting
games
code.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never experienced that on the cart version. I definitely had that happen to me in the ROM
Yeah.
that I played. So
I didn't necessarily come across that problem.
I couldn't beat fucking Major Mucus either.
oh, you know the guy?
Because like halfway through the third stage of it, my game would just turn into like fucking pixels.
Oh.
Like that level was just fucked.
Yeah, I did not
did
run
you just have a
into-
bad ROM? Maybe.
I mean, we
Same
all
one-
played the same
one he
ROM. Like,
distributed.
I literally downloaded it and sent it to these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the
mean,
one from years ago. Okay.
Oh, interesting. But Steve made it through. I had this weird glitch too with the first boss, not the mini boss, not the tire guy.
The crane guy.
Yeah, the crane guy,
Yeah.
where it would stop bringing me boxes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It would just stop, and then it would just follow over my head. And I was like,
Oh.
cool, so I guess I have to die now. Like,
Yeah. No, it never ran into that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't have that issue either.
Remind me of the cat boss again. You guys were mentioning that, and I can't.
Well, the cat
picture it.
he was the one where you were just Earthworm Jim and the body was up on the platform.
It was like waving.
And
You had
then
to, like, jump over fire. a
yeah,
bunch.
he was throwing.
Oh,
like,
that was a boss?
yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, so then you had
That's why I couldn't remember the boss.
you had to
you
jump
go.
over the fire until that platform broke. Then you got your
Underneath.
body back, and then you were like floating there, and you had to like shoot the cat as it was coming at you.
Yeah, where it had 9 lives, and it,
And it kept numbering
okay.
the belly,
Got
which I
it.
thought was
Yeah.
kind of funny. It was like, boom, there's 1 life, and there's like 1.
yeah, exactly.
2.
It's like 1 save state and 2 save state.
Okay, I kind of remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that now.
I thought that was a cool boss. I like
That's kind of cool design.
That is,
Yeah.
I honestly, from an actual like gameplay element, I think that is one of the better pieces of this game.
Well, I would take that just as like a platformer in general to kind of like throw a boss like that at you. It's not super difficult, but
No,
you have to be on your toes because you have 1 second basically to really
get a diagonal shot, whichever way he was coming from.
exactly.
typically.
So all I did was I just ran back and forth, and then hopefully if I was running right, he would come from the left, or is running left, come from the right. Not all the time, but majority. It's like
Mine, it seemed like he just alternated.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, oh, left or to your right. But
Yeah.
like there were a few times where I knew he was coming from my right, but he came to my right off screen. And then just came in and just like ripped me up. I was like, God damn it.
God, this son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch, cat.
Cat scratch fever.
I'll be honest though, like I don't have much more to say about the gameplay of the game.
The main reason I really wanted to play it, 1, it's a notable title with a lot of people who have had like platformer games for SNES. 2, it's a personal favorite. So again, I wanted to bring it up. 3, I really do think this, when you talk about like Super Nintendo platformer games, this is a defining title because it's very obscure. This was one of the ones that really started kind of to get like out of the box as a concept. It's like you have this, and the only other one I can think of is like Boogerman. If any of you have played that, it's just
Cool spot with like a word.
sure. It's just it's a very it's pretty fucking out there compared to the games that came out at its time. So I just wanted to give it its respect a little bit.
Yeah, I want to say something about the Super Nintendo thing because I didn't think about it during development. It's something that kind of bothers me, and I don't know if it was a console limitation or design limitation or just marketing. But like, I thought it was weird that there was only like 7 levels on Super Nintendo, but there was like 14 on Genesis.
So that was something that I wanted to bring up. I think this isn't a Super Nintendo console defining like one. It was important that it was on the system, but it was way more for Genesis.
Yeah, I think they designed it for Genesis, and Super Nintendo was more of an afterthought.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's important to the Super Nintendo console for that war, that like whole Nintendo versus Sega thing, because it was like one of the standout games. Because like
It wasn't the only game doing this type of thing either, though, to be clear.
Right.
There was a
Yeah,
lot,
that's fair.
obviously we talked
Yeah.
about Mortal Kombat previously, but
Yep.
But yeah.
I will say I actually think that Earthworm Jim 2 for me is the game of the series that stands out, like where you're doing like the side to side, like through the.
I never played 2.
Oh, dude, 2 is like an actually good game.
Say that now.
Okay.
From what I remember, 2 was a better game than
Earthworm
1.
Jim 2 submission.
I'm actually surprised Genesis had more levels. So there's a whole element to this game that we didn't experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Side notes, actually, speaking on levels, did anybody stumble across the secret level?
No.
The one that's completely in the dark?
No.
No. I'm the only one that stumbled on that.
Apparently.
Did you stumble on it, or did you like cheat?
Oh,
your
no.
way there?
I stumbled on it. You jump into a corner of the screen. I was dodging an enemy, and it just teleports you.
Weird.
So you basically are in this...
What level do you get into it?
I think it's on the one with the gems.
Okay. So you're in heck.
Yeah.
I think so. But anyway, you go through a door, and it shows an animation of him opening the door and then closing it, and he's completely in the dark. But there's enemies that you see these red eyes on the screen, so you know to try to avoid that or kill them.
Yeah.
And then there's occasionally a spotlight shining on a platform, and basically you have to get through this dark room, find another door. And
Do you shoot for light?
no. But you have to do it like a series of like 6 or 7 times. And then to get out of the final door, you actually have to jump and swing in the air, but you have no idea where
The hook is?
the hook is.
Oh.
So it's just a bunch of...
Please tell me you don't actually lose lives here.
I lost health.
So,
God.
so firing doesn't illuminate the room at all?
I mean, no, you see a little animation, but it doesn't illuminate the room.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, there's no like pitfalls, though. It's just eyeball enemies. So
Yeah.
as long as you're avoiding those.
Interesting.
But yeah. Secret level. Woo! Woo! There's probably a standard level on the Genesis.
Probably. Who knows?
It was probably
snuck
just called
one
the
in
secret
there.
level.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's funny.
Well, if that's gonna do it, lost some cows into some graphics.
Graphics.
It was Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
I thought overall it did
Yeah.
pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Like, the animations were fluid. A lot of colors.
for what it was at the time when it came out,
Yeah.
this was just like, oh, this
One
is
of
neat.
the better categories, for sure, for this game.
Yeah,
They did a lot with what you could do. Like, a lot of the levels, you know, they obviously had their themes. Like, in Heck, it was obviously a lot of red and orange, but it made sense.
yeah.
But like nothing was really like washed out. Like
Yeah.
everything looked really good. The only weird spot that I had was on For Pete's Sake, where you have the tilting platforms. The first time I came across them, I thought they were a background object.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like sometimes I couldn't tell what was a background object and what was actually a platform you could use.
yeah.
So
Well,
that
there
was a little bit difficult sometimes. There was a little bit of trial and error sometimes there.
Yeah, even
But
in
that's
that like
really
the
my only
platform
gripe.
where they had like a little top, a little bottom platform, you could like run down and drop, and
And
then
if you walked
ran
back, you would
left,
die.
you drop. Yeah, drop
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, let's not do that again.
Yep, made that mistake once and I was like, okay.
It's already a pain in the ass just trying to
Yeah.
whip that little dog back where it needs to go. It's like, go on, boy.
I actually thought the Major Mucus thing was kind of cool. Like when you're at the top of the bungee, like that like spiral of the clouds in the sky. I thought that was really cool. And then just like the water looked like super murky and stuff. Like I think the graphics is one of the better parts of this game.
Yeah, and even in like
The
what
style,
the heck?
specifically the style.
Yeah, like when you're in what the heck, and the little flames are like poofing up from the
Yeah.
bottom when you're like down. It's like they actually like have
it looks
some
pretty good.
effect to it. Like
Yeah.
even on a ROM, and as for Super Nintendo, I'm like, oh, all right, that looks pretty decent. You know, I'm not mad at the graphics that they put into it. You can tell it's like what lacks in story. It's like, all right, well, we need to make the rest of this look good. You know, let's sell some toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say on graphics. I would say it's one of its stronger categories in this game. I think What the Heck was actually my least visually appealing level, though.
What do you think took it for you?
I don't know. Just,
Is it out in space?
I would say the water level.
yeah, you know what? The water level. Not when you're in the fucking submarine, though, but like in the tubes, it kind of reminded me a little bit of what's that underwater city game?
Echo
No.
reminded me of Echo.
C-Lab?
Game.
BioShock?
BioShock, thank
Okay.
you. Wow. C-Lab? Dude, if they made a fucking C-Lab game, we're fucking reviewing that
I
shit.
know.
You know how many
There is a
times I've
C-Lab
almost
game.
pitched Harvey Birdman?
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is. I'll look it up.
Yeah, please do.
You gotta play the Harvey Birdman game.
Is that a game?
Yep.
Damn.
We have a whole new series. It's like Adult Swim.
Yeah, you know,
for
we'll do
2
the,
months.
Yeah, we'll do an Adult Swim Mubbers thing after we're done the console.
I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, I don't oppose that.
No, not at all. Aqua Teen Hunger Force 3D.
Harvey Birdman's can be a party game. It's like 2 hours long.
Jesus.
Wait, really? It's like multi-part? Like multiplayer?
It's a point-and-click adventure where you have to solve crimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. It's a board game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. We can still play it.
It's what C Lab's based off of, I believe.
Okay.
So you like the C Lab level?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I thought like the tubes and riding the gerbil and
Dude, that gerbil was fucking dope. He came out of nowhere. It's just like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, let's
I wish
do
you had
this.
that
do this.
in more levels, just chomping through.
I know, right? But I mean, you know, you
Little
still got-
bulldog guys. That's one thing I would like to say about the game. Other than like the fucking cat things that just looked like a Tasmanian devil or whatever, like the enemies actually looked pretty good. Like they were all had like their very unique and distinctive like thing that they did, and like they were all just like everything else. They were all animated really well.
Yeah.
I think
they had their own like attributes and whatnot.
Yeah,
like the
there was no rinse and repeat enemies.
yeah, like
Like
once
it wasn't
you
like
hit
a
the
color swatch change.
Yeah, and we hit like the fucking sea slugs, and they dropped the fucking worms out, and
Oh, the little like
God, I
mealworms.
forgot about
oh yeah, no, they were annoying as hell. But I mean, at the same time, it's like okay, something different.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not just like oh, rinse and repeat, and like oh, rinse and oh, what the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but they all looked great.
Yeah. All right. Well, apparently someone is about to get a tuba in the face because we're getting into some sound music.
Audio.
Audio.
What was with the tuba thing?
I don't know. I think it was a sousaphone actually.
Oh, really?
A sousaphone. That's a weird boss.
It wasn't just on the boss.
No, that was in the
The whole level. Because it
whole
had like
up
the
and down.
conveyor belt thing that you had to climb up, and they were
yeah.
coming down the conveyor belt too.
Yeah, that was just a mini boss. Yeah, you're right.
It's weird.
Very odd.
I think the music in this is actually really good.
It's the best part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
love it.
Hands down.
No, it's
it's
really good.
It is fucking great.
The one song that plays on the Psycho boss level when you're fighting them.
Yeah.
It has like this sick bass that kind of kicks in.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
like
groovy.
I like Hex music. The I thought that was like really fucking good. Yeah, the sound or the audio in this is just probably the best part of it, honestly.
I think the past like week or so, I've just been like walking around and just like starting humming it too, and I'm like, the fuck is that? Oh, Earthworm Jim, son of a bitch.
Spent 3 hours on a fucking 4-minute level.
I
Gets
mean,
in your head.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
it won't happen again for a
that's
while.
not
That's a lie.
entirely. It's not entirely
For
your
a
fault.
while, yeah.
I knew I'm not
Steve's
good
gonna
at
drop
platformers
Aladdin
to begin
on
with.
us in like 4 months.
Hey, you would fucking love that.
I used to love Aladdin. I don't.
Oh, I love Aladdin.
Yeah.
I'll fucking ride his carpet.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
That's
All right,
that's
Joe. That's
2 out of 3. Okay, that's good enough for me. What?
Kidding me?
No,
Oh,
it's all right.
I beat the shit out of that game. I'd give it fucking.
Yeah. No, Aladdin's great.
Yeah.
Like,
I-
did that
I-
owe you money?
I would go as far as saying it's one of the best platformers on Super Nintendo.
And
I
yet
would
you
agree.
Didn't mention it during the.
Yeah, he did.
Did we mention Aladdin?
Yeah.
I
oh
would-
no,
I'm
we
I'm pretty sure
definitely
you mentioned
did.
it during honorable mentions.
Yes.
Yeah, it might have been a shout out one. I didn't.
It came up.
That art style was really good too.
Yeah, it was.
Ah, that whole game was really nice.
I mean, it was a giant Prince of Persia ripoff, but yeah.
Doesn't matter. How dare you? So we're saying 2022 Aladdin.
That's
Okay.
what you want to pick, Steve.
I'll keep it in mind. Y'all about to be pissed off.
Steve's about to
wouldn't
get
be
some
pissed
fucking
off at
concrete
Aladdin.
boots.
Yeah. Was this your limit?
I don't foresee myself being
you
pissed
fucking
off
did
about
Cuphead
Aladdin.
not long ago either.
Yeah.
No. Well, that was a little more modern. Come on now.
You keep picking these frustrating games though. That
was
are
actually-
ridiculously difficult.
Platformers.
Aladdin was one of the first
Yeah.
games I've ever
Okay.
beaten.
Yeah. No. So is that too bad?
'Cause it's kind of easy.
Mine was Turtles in Time.
I don't know if it's the game that I beat
Yeah,
first,
sure,
but it's
yeah.
definitely one of them.
One of the more memorable ones.
Either way, be careful of your platformers. You're about to have Joe strap on some unnecessary boots.
And kick us into final thoughts.
Wow, you're really trying to push this a little bit.
We've just been bullshitting for 2 minutes.
Yeah, like we've not been talking about audio for 2 minutes.
We can just riff sometimes. It's okay. But with that, let's
It's just terrible.
let's take care of some Puss in Boots and get into some final thoughts.
Puss in Boots?
Final thoughts.
Because there was a cat named Evil who's just like
Oh,
Puss in
okay.
Boots.
All right. Yeah.
Blasting some puss.
Yeah, nice some puss, bud. Go ahead. All right. So yeah, final thought.
Oh, shit,
Joe.
you're there. Okay.
Fuck you, Steve.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this a couple times throughout the past couple weeks. So you want to say that one more time, Joe?
I think I made it clear enough.
Fair enough.
Okay. Clark, go ahead.
Fuck you, Steve.
Okay. All right. No, I'm holding strong. I have hope. Harry, I see you searching. Do you need?
He's just pulling up scores.
What's the fucking password?
You don't need
All
it.
right. Harry, your final thought.
No, I'm not gonna say fuck you, Steve.
Okay.
He did, though. He just did.
He did it. Edit it correctly.
Cut it in. Cut it in.
Cut it in.
That's fucked.
No,
He does it to
listen to it.
himself while crying.
It's going to happen. It's okay.
It's kind of, I'll be honest, it's kind of what I expected from a Super Nintendo platformer. I think they, in general, were all very hard, and I don't think many of them were achievable to beat on average. I think there's a couple standout ones that you can beat, but I think, I'm just going to say rough estimate, maybe like 60 to 70% of platformers on Super Nintendo, I don't think you can just beat without cheating. I mean, if you think back, I can think of a bunch of games in my head that
I totally agree.
Jumanji, We're Back, Cool Spot.
Yeah.
There's
No,
so many
it's
I've
cool-
never been able to get to the end.
Cool Spot's beatable.
I've never gotten to the end of that one.
It's a long game. It has a lot.
Lester.
Not by your average gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's about like approachability, and even with like the hardcore stuff, like it's just,
Yeah. And I feel like platformers dominated that system too.
Oh yeah, definitely. They needed something for you to be like, oh, well, I just need to keep playing.
Yeah.
Make it hard.
But in all fairness,
make it
though,
hard.
this is no Donkey Kong Country. As a comparison, it's just not there.
I agree.
Not there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's. You know what? Let me wrap this into my final thoughts.
Go ahead.
This game could have possibly been more enjoyable if there was unlimited ammo. If it turned into more of like a run and gun, just holding down the shoot button. I don't know. That could have been a fun element.
Like Contra.
Contra.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Instead of limiting you, because then it's
Right. Yeah. It's the resource management in a platformer should be null and void.
yeah.
I was excited to play this again, and as I said, it will be one of the last Super Nintendo platformers that I bring to the table for a while. But every here and there, I got to throw it in just to keep you humble, because the old school games will fuck you up a little bit.
I'm starting to just think the old school games were way worse than what I thought they were from when I was a kid.
I mean, the standard has gone up.
Sure. Yeah. But
All right, you know what? Then we're just gonna fucking
It's a
open.
mother's topic.
We're gonna
Yeah.
open the entire can of worms and get into the score.
The score.
Entire can of worm.
Multiple.
it's only one.
It's only one. It's just Jim.
Look at the graphics.
Just Jim right now.
Can of Jim.
Can of worms. And with that, Joe, your score.
I think graphics and music alone gives this a 4 out of 10.
Wow.
Okay. I'm gonna go around the table. Clark. Score.
It's an avoid, even if you could play it for free.
That's It's rude, but that's okay. Harry?
Damn, Joe. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. It's going to tie with No Man's Sky. I feel like I can't use 4 anymore because I caught so much fucking hate for it.
So you need to go like under?
Yeah, I think I'm still going to stick with 3.
Okay,
It's not
that's
like
fair.
a 1.
Hey, I'm not
It's
gonna.
definitely not a 5.
Yeah. All right. For a Super Nintendo game, I'm gonna give this C+.
That's even surprising. I thought you were going to give it a higher grade than that.
No,
Don't feel pressure from us.
nope. I don't. It's just
Yeah.
to me where it sits. I still love it. It just as a game, that's where it sits. Taking nostalgia out of it.
I just want to clarify my score. I said 4. I meant 40.
Still.
I was thinking for some reason Harry's scale and said 4.
Because I had
And
the
then
superior
yeah.
scale.
All right. Well, you and everyone, join us in 2 weeks for our Mubbers review of Xbox 360. Motherfuckers.
Oh, we're doing Xbox 360 next?
Yeah.
So,
I remember us going over it, so.
Yeah.
360. That's going to be so much fun.
A lot of great games.
I've got a.
I bet I can name one of Harry's top 5 right now.
Go for it.
State of Decay.
Big smile from Harry. Big smile.
I can tell. I bet you can really guess what my number fucking 1's going to be.
Left 4 Dead.
I bet be everybody's number fucking 1.
Maybe.
There's
Then
a lot of good games on
Are
360.
we gonna
Yeah.
discuss the downfall of when we were actually like in the league for Left 4 Dead?
We can just. We talked about that on the Left 4 Dead podcast.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to spend a lot of time on that, I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, I don't think. We've talked about it in Mubbers a bunch of times too.
Yeah, he brought it up a lot.
Maybe here and there. Okay. Well, with that, thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Love you guys.
Stay sexy.
Stay lovely.
Stay safe.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media and all streaming platforms at Superfun Podcast for more episodes. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us and consider becoming a Patreon member for more exclusive content.